anything wrong in your life, and I find out about it, I'm going to try to take everything away from you. And I don't care when I find out. Could be today.
In the ever-evolving landscape of celebrity culture and social media, few incidents capture the public's imagination quite like a heated confrontation between two prominent figures. One such moment, which continues to resonate years later, unfolded in 2018 between comedian Katt Williams and Atlanta radio host Wanda Smith. The exchange, initially a lighthearted radio interview, escalated into a viral roast, sparked a physical altercation, and has since been revisited following significant developments in 2024 and 2025. The saga, marked by sharp comedic jabs, personal grievances, and serious allegations, has reignited debates about comedy, cancel culture, and the consequences of public feuds. This story, layered with nuance and complexity, also draws in the perspective of Dave Chappelle, who has defended Williams, and touches on broader themes of accountability, legacy, and the power dynamics within the entertainment industry. The saga began on September 15, 2018, when Katt Williams appeared on V103's Frank and Wanda in the Morning, alongside comedian Red Grant to promote a series of comedy shows in Atlanta. What was intended to be a standard 20-minute promotional interview took an unexpected turn, transforming into one of the most memorable moments in the station's history. The conversation started innocently enough, with Williams discussing his recent Emmy win for his role in Donald Glover's series Atlanta. However, the tone shifted when the discussion veered toward Tiffany Haddish, a comedian whose rapid rise in Hollywood had drawn both admiration and scrutiny. Williams, known for his unfiltered style, didn't hold back. He argued that Haddish's success was not entirely organic, suggesting that her lighter skin and willingness to appeal to white audiences, particularly through her public comments about dating white men, had propelled her career over other talented black female comedians. He name-dropped comedians like Luenell and Melanie Camarco, whom he felt had been overlooked by the industry despite their talent and dedication. Wanda Smith, a seasoned comedian and radio host with a long-standing presence in Atlanta's entertainment scene, jumped into the conversation to defend Haddish. She argued that Haddish's authenticity and relatability were the keys to her success. This exchange, while initially civil, set the stage for tension. Williams, perceiving Smith's defense as a challenge, shifted gears, turning the interview into a comedic battleground. When Smith pivoted to a seemingly innocuous question about whether Williams cooked for his children, the conversation took a sharp turn. Williams seized the opportunity to flip the question into a roast, poking fun at Smith's cooking skills with a now infamous line about boiling broccoli. "Look up on your phone what it takes to make broccoli," he quipped, "and tell me it doesn't say heat up water." The jab, delivered with Williams' signature wit, drew laughs but also stung, as it positioned Smith as an amateur in a comedic duel she hadn't anticipated. The interview continued to spiral as Smith attempted to regain control. She made comments about Williams' appearance, specifically his hair, joking that it resembled a perm and even calling him Lil Mama, a reference to the rapper that some interpreted as an insinuation about his sexuality. These remarks backfired spectacularly. Williams, quick on his feet, responded with a barrage of verbal takedowns, including a pointed remark about Smith's gnarled fingers and her inability to keep up with his comedic prowess. "My hair is 19 inches long, and I have no perm," he shot back, inviting her to run one of your gnarled fingers through it to prove his point. The exchange grew increasingly personal, with Williams maintaining a sharp but non-vulgar tone, while Smith struggled to match his energy. By the end of the interview, the tension was palpable, and what had started as a promotional segment had become a viral spectacle, with clips circulating widely on social media. The fallout from the interview didn't end with the broadcast. Days later, on September 15, 2018, the situation escalated outside the Atlanta Comedy Theater in Norcross, where Smith was hosting a comedy night. According to reports, Smith's husband, Lamorris Sellers, confronted Williams in the parking lot, allegedly brandishing a firearm. Security footage later obtained by TMZ showed Sellers chasing Williams toward a nearby grocery store with a gun visible in his hand. Williams, in a later recounting of the incident, claimed that Sellers had pointed the weapon at him, an act he described as life-threatening. Sellers, however, maintained that he had not intended to harm Williams, stating that the gun had accidentally fallen from his pocket during the chase. Smith, addressing the incident on her radio show a few days later, defended her husband, arguing that he was protecting her after Williams had humiliated her on air. She claimed that Williams had come to the theater with the sole intention of disrespecting her, though she offered no concrete evidence to support this assertion. The confrontation took a toll on Smith's career. In January 2019, she was unexpectedly fired from V103, where she had been a beloved figure for over 2 decades as co-host of Frank and Wanda in the Morning. The station did not provide an official reason for her dismissal, but speculation swirled that her comments during the Williams interview, particularly the Lil Mama remark and its perceived homophobic undertones, may have played a role. Atlanta, with its significant black LGBTQ+ community, is sensitive to such language, and some suggested that Smith's remarks alienated a portion of her audience. Others, however, believed the firing was unrelated to the Williams incident, pointing to internal station dynamics or budget cuts. Regardless, the timing fueled perceptions that the interview had contributed to her professional downfall. Williams, for his part, remained relatively silent on the matter until January 2024, when he appeared on Shannon Sharpe's Club Shay Shay podcast. The nearly 3-hour interview, which went viral for Williams' candid critiques of several high-profile entertainers, provided a platform for him to address the Wanda Smith saga. He claimed that the interview had been a setup from the start, alleging that Smith had promised not to bring up sensitive topics like his children or legal issues, but then did exactly that. "We won't talk about your kids. We won't talk about jail, no cases," Williams recalled Smith assuring him before the interview. Yet he said she immediately veered into those topics, prompting him to respond with the roast that became legendary. He also reiterated his account of the altercation with Sellers, describing it as a life-threatening moment orchestrated in retaliation for his on-air performance. "They tried to kill me this same weekend. Not in jokes, with a real gun in my real face on real camera," he told Sharpe, emphasizing the gravity of the situation. Williams also suggested that Smith's firing was linked to her attempt to humiliate him in front of her audience, particularly by using gay references as a derogatory tactic. "She got canceled," he said, "because gay people don't take kindly to you calling me gay as a derogatory term." He argued that Smith's actions were not only unprofessional but also miscalculated, given the cultural context of Atlanta's diverse audience. Williams maintained that his response, while sharp, was within the bounds of comedy and that he had never crossed into disrespect by using vulgar or personal insults. His comments on the podcast reignited interest in the 2018 incident, with clips of the interview resurfacing and sparking fresh debates online. The controversy took on new dimensions in October 2024 when Wanda Smith passed away at the age of 58, just 1 day after celebrating her birthday. Her death, the cause of which was not publicly disclosed, prompted an outpouring of tributes from fans and colleagues who celebrated her contributions to Atlanta's entertainment scene. Smith had been a trailblazer, known for her comedic talent and her role as a radio personality who connected with listeners through humor and authenticity. However, her passing also reignited discussions about the Katt Williams interview, with some fans revisiting the viral clips and others calling for Williams to apologize for his role in the incident. Social media posts reflected a divided sentiment. Some labeled Williams a piece of S for his roast, arguing that it had contributed to Smith's professional and personal struggles, while others defended him, viewing the exchange as a comedic sparring match that Smith had initiated.